He didn't measure, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. No, it's on silent, it's still buzzing.
Sorry, can I just look in the mirror because I can't see?
Yeah, definitely.
You can't hide anywhere, Georgie, you know, they're fine.
No, I know, this is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phone back if it's important. And I've not got the number stored in my phone, so that's what you always think, isn't it? It's not anybody that...
Yeah, if they're not in my phone, they're not important.
No, that's right.
That probably don't sound good, does it? But I mean,
So when you're doing your sectioning on this, it's really important that your section is not going off like that. It's got to be horizontal and horizontal at the back. So as you're clipping it up and you come back to look at it, just be mindful of that. Let me get to a view of it.
Like all of these stuff and education recipes, pre-sectioning is key, which takes paper.
So can you see how it's horizontal? Although the head's rounded, the sections are horizontal.
Persistence and practice on your first attempt.
Because if you think about it, you're going to be following that square line.
yeah. Okay.
No, tell me to do it. I'm just nearly at the memory. I'm trying to delete some photographs, so I'm not going to be able to.
Using the nose as a guide, standing at the back of the head, take a centre parting right the way back past the crown.
I just want the clipper bit.
Oh.
From the recession of the head, that's where men normally create the square weight by making sure comb cut back to your section.
Okay.
With a 49 Matador saw comb with the clipper head pulled back for extra length, body directly at the sides, we sit the base of the comb on the head where we want the weight line to be, making sure that the teeth of the comb are turned to face us for maximum length. And we run the clippers over the comb, cutting off the hair that sprouts out from the comb. Always leave the hair a little longer on your first attempts and assess and adjust where necessary. We work this weight line squarely through to the back by making sure our body stays firmly at the side. Our comb is pointed directly to the sides of us, not following the head shape. This will create a corner through the back.
Can you just stand in front of me?
Yeah. So you can tip it a little bit towards you to start with. That's it. So you get your first line in and then go back into it to shorten it.
Purposely leaving the hair longer to begin with for safety and gradually working the length to match the other side. Once we are convinced the balance is the same on both sides, we then run our comb up the back to just above the ears, with our body directly at the back, with the comb face sitting on the head, comb tilted
so
back.
If you keep it so you're horizontal, that's it, so it's retaining length towards that back, to your squareness, that's it.
Creating a square weight line through the back. Start with a 49
And you go straight
to the other side, yeah, and
on the
then
head.
the back.
Leave the hair a little longer on your first attempts. Sides, then back, create squareness, assess and adjust where necessary. We work this weight line squarely through to the back by making sure our body stays firmly at the side. Our comb is pointed directly to the sides of us, not following the head shape. This will create a corner through the back. And then we do exactly the same on the other side, being very careful and conscious of the balance. So you will want to take your time on the second side, purposely leaving the hair longer to begin with for safety and gradually working the length to match the other side. Once we are convinced the balance
so when you're
is the
doing
same
that,
on
is
both
your
sides,
comb on
we
the
then run our
scalp,
comb
the
up
base
back
of it?
Wasn't.
just
Yeah,
above
so,
the ears,
yeah.
with our body directly at the back, with the comb face sitting on the head, comb tilted back with the teeth of the comb facing directly towards us for maximum length. We cut the hair sprouting out from the comb, creating a square weight line through the back. Start with a 49 Matador comb. Sit the base of the comb on the head. Leave the hair a little longer on your first attempt.
So only work on that first line, you're not blending anything in underneath it.
Just go up to the first
Keep
line all the way
horizontal,
round.
yeah. So keep horizontal, they've died. So more, that's it, like that.
The comb goes into the hair, yet this time the teeth
As if
of
you're
the
drawing a
comb
square.
are not pointed towards us,
okay,
and
yeah.
they're pointing towards the ceiling. So we start to cut the hair shorter, and the hair that we have already cut is our guide for the below hair. So it's extremely important that we do not cut anything off of our guide. The guide is just a guide. And the comb should be tilted so you can see the guide just behind the teeth of the comb, with the below hair sprouting out underneath. So when you clip the hair off, you are only taking the hair off on the underneath every time and leaving the guide intact. Work it to a square line through the comb facing directly towards us for maximum length. We cut the hair sprouting out from the comb, creating a square weight line through the back. Start with a 49 Matador comb. Sit the base of the comb on the head. Leave the hair a little longer on your first attempts. Sides, then back, create squareness, assess and adjust. Push the blade of the clippers up so we will cut.
So the back,
Yeah. So you'll have length retained
here.
there because that comb, clipper comb should be like that, so you should be square, it needs to be square. So as you're stood at the side of her, that needs to be like that, and that continues like that, so it gets longer on this corner.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not going down, you're still straight from that. So if you're just extending it, that's it.
What do you do on the back? You don't do the back?
Yeah, it joins the dots, so you just take, you like got to have a corner to come off.
That one?
Yeah, so a bit higher up. So back there, that's it. So you see your two corners. And your comb again needs to be on the scalp. So yeah, we're tracking quite a bit off. That's it. Or otherwise, when you're doing your clippering, like we spoke about, if this line ain't short enough,
it's going to cause problems.
Yeah, massively.
Don't you keep going?
No, so don't worry about what's below it, just concentrate that one line all the way round is square. And once you're happy that it's square, and I'll flip the video back.
So you will want to take your time on the second side, purposely leaving the hair longer to begin with for safety, and gradually working the length to match the other side. Once we are convinced the balance is the same on both sides, we then run our comb up the back to just above the ears, with our body directly at the back, with the comb base sitting on the head, comb tilted back with the tip of the comb facing directly towards us for maximum length. We cut the hair sprouting out from the comb, creating a square weight line through the back. Start with a 49 Matador comb. Sit the base of the comb on the head. Leave the hair a little longer on your first attempts. Sides then back, create squareness, assess and adjust. Push the blade of the clippers up so it will cut slightly shorter, and we go back to our first side. Our comb goes into the hair, yet this time the teeth
Yeah. So what he's doing now is he puts his clipper base on a 0.5 to the 0.3. So he takes them in, And he's working with that same comb for the minute, and he's starting to go down now, so you're never going above your guide.
Okay. And he moves the... He doesn't move the blade, does he?
I'm not pointing towards us, but I'm now pointing
to,
the comb directly toward sides, then and we go back to our first side. Start at 49 map. A little longer on your first sides, then back, create squareness, assess and adjust. Push the blade of the clippers up so it will cut slightly shorter, and we go back to our first side. Our comb goes into the hair, yet this time the teeth of the comb are not pointing towards us, but are now pointing towards the ceiling. So we start to cut the hair shorter. The hair that we have already cut is our guide of low hair. So it's extremely important that we do not cut anything off of our guide. The guide is just a guide. And the comb should be tilted so you can see the guide just behind the teeth of the comb, with the blow hair sprouting out underneath. So when you clip the hair off, we are only taking the hair off on the underneath every time and leaving the guide intact. Work it to a square line through the sides, not following the shape of the head. The square line is designed to make the shape more masculine and suitable for men. For maximum graduation around the back, we still tilt the comb pointing towards us, and we start to move the comb up the head, like a scissor over comb method, but this is a clipper over comb. Just like scissor over comb, it's imperative that the clippers move faster than the comb, and we now start to round off the shape below our weight line, still keeping the squareness above and being very aware not to cut any hair off our guide above.
Do you want me to keep it plain?
No, you're alright. I just need to see the mirror, really.
You have to really concentrate on this
I
one.
know, sorry, I'm not talking to you.
No, I know,
Sorry.
I know concentration's required on this one. Because it's so different to how you do it.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, don't you do that, I'll worry about this. Do you want me to put it back on again?
Yeah, I think he gets tighter, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he just starts to work down.
Yeah.
Please note that the teeth of the comb are never pointed away from us, and the comb is always working out of the head towards us in a C shape. As we place the base of the comb onto the scalp, we make sure our comb is horizontal and square, not following the round shape of
So
the
he's
hair,
working from the
creating a
weight
weight
line
line
down,
that is
and
caused
then blends
as the
back
head
up.
rounds around the back. This is the foundation of our shape in this recipe and the cornerstone to cutting men's hair. Always remember with this recipe, the hair that we have already cut is our guide for the below hair. So it's extremely important that we do not cut anything off our guide. The guide is just the guide, and the comb should be tilted so you can see the guide just on the teeth of the comb, with the below hair sprouting out underneath. So when you clip the hair off, we are only taking the hair off underneath every time and leaving the guide intact. This clipper over comb method will take a little practice. If you have any spare mannequin heads, practice on them. Practice on your dad, granddad, just keep practicing. Changing the angle of the comb, still sitting on the...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. He has got long bits left, but mine are just sticking out like.
Yeah, they'll go
Yeah,
as you work
yeah.
down with your combs.
Yeah.
You'll get
I've just
that
thought I've got
gone.
wings and
Yeah.
it's not
The
going
important thing is
The
the bit
squareness.
that you've put in is starting to go like inverted down that way.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah.
end up tight.
well. Yeah.
sprouting out underneath. So when you clip the hair off, we are only taking the hair off underneath every time and leaving the guide intact. This clipper over comb method will take a little practice. If you have any spare mannequin heads, practice on them. Practice on your dad, granddad, just keep practicing. Changing the angle of the comb, still sitting on the base of the head, clipper over, leaving the guide intact.
As he's worked down, where he's almost got a fringe around his perimeter,
Yeah.
that's when we can then look at
Go
changing our
look at-
comb on
yeah.
the next one.
So he keeps going, doesn't he?
Yeah. But if you get to that point, and then we'll...
Yeah. To go tighter than that?
Probably very slightly, I would, if you can get
Yeah.
it in any more on
yeah.
that sort of couple of inches just below your weight line, and then work that down, and then we can swap combs. Not bad.
I don't think I'm going to get any
Yeah,
more
that's
for that
better,
time.
isn't it? That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll have set you up now, that will.
Tap. This clipper over comb method with 30 Matador saw comb, which will cut the hair shorter because the comb is less dense, making our graduation tighter on the underneath. We continue to clipper over comb with our new finer comb, being very aware of our clippers always moving faster than our comb, and not to cut off any of the shape we have just created above. The shape we have just created is our new guide for the below hair. We urge you to focus and concentrate. Take your time, don't rush. Imagine your comb is working in a slight concave, flowing up and out from the head. Keep looking at your shape, which will show us clearly if we are getting our movements.
Right.
We keep moving the
Just
comb
wanted
up
to
the
cover
head like a scissor over comb method, but this is clipper over comb. Just like scissor over comb, it's imperative clippers move faster than the comb. And we now start to round off the shape below our weight line, keeping our weight line square and intact. And keep checking that our graduation is getting longer as it moves up the head.
I don't know,
Change
because
it
what
to 30
happens
Matador
is,
comb.
ordinarily,
On the head, clipper over
Donna
comb, taking the hair a little
goes to
shorter,
Neil
sides then back, rounding off the
all
bottom,
details.
as a sesame.
Should I check with
We
Donna?
now change
I'll
our
check
comb
with
to
Donna,
a
because
36
otherwise I might be checking
Matador
on
saw
something
comb.
that's
All right then,
already
I'll
done.
ask Donna.
But if there's a problem, Stacey, just drop me an email and I'll speak to Neil.
All right,
Yeah.
cheers.
All right.
I'm on a 30 now.
Yes, you got
Yeah.
down one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got wings, Georgie. Really bad
They'll be
wings.
going in a minute. The wings.
I know he's got wings, but my wings look horrendous.
It's the quality of the mannequins, isn't
Yes. Well, obviously mine isn't.
Once we are happy with the shape, this comb is slightly smaller and finer than our previous combs, which will help us to cut the hair shorter around the hairline and help enormously with the graduation. Note, the comb is mostly always moving on the head. The clippers are always moving much faster than the comb. There's always a fluid movement and a clear journey where the comb is starting and finishing. And the guide above, which we have so meticulously created, will take in fine clippers in or length, in down and sit in the, but we get an even closer and tighter, keeping the clippers faster than the clear journey than our previous.
He hasn't changed the comb again, has he?
The comb, keeping our weight line square and intact.
So
And keep checking that graduation is getting longer as it moves up the head and then off the bottom. Assess and adjust. We now change our comb to a 36 matched floor sword comb. Once we are happy with the shape, this comb is slightly smaller and finer than our.
Right.
So once you've used that one all the way around, then you can go in
But
the
down a
last
bit
one with
shorter.
your tighter one, yeah.
Yeah. She's a shocking walk, I tell you.
She's not the best, is she? To work on.
Oh my God, what are you doing to me, love? And then he goes
In
to
with your tight one now. This one you've got to
go
get
really tight. Yeah.
dead tight, yeah.
That's the 36. I'll just see if he cuts those off. I can't remember if he does.
Yeah, he does, but I'll show you.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, they go right tight in.
But I'm using a 30.
Matadors.
Yes, so you're
6.
using that
My
one.
his oh yeah.
The comb is then turned
Yeah.
upside down and the hair
Right.
is combed down, not up. So we get a
Yeah.
little closer and tighter
Yeah.
finish
No.
to the hairline.
Because combs don't go in order of number, do they? That's
No.
what throws you.
I love. Okay.
So then you can turn your comb either way like he did as well, so your teeth are pointing down to get the sides off and that's it. It just helps a little bit.
changing to
So
a
you actually,
36
to get
matador
that
sort.
little bit
Down,
off around
not
the
up.
hairline, around the front.
So we get an even
watch
closer
what
Push
he
it
does.
down.
He'll do that,
Finish
which
to
is
the
what you've
hairline.
been doing,
Yeah.
but then he will actually,
Lead.
watch how he does, it's almost as if he's,
Does it neat, isn't he?
yeah. It's,
Changing to a 36
Yeah.
matador sword comb, working down and sitting the base of the comb on the head. So we now put a number 1 at
so it gets rid of it. It's
Yeah.
better like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Yep, that's better.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll flick the video on that.
Oh, and he wants. I want a 1.
Oh yes,
Get
hold on.
You've got me 1. Oh, yeah. And he moves the guard down, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he's
Yeah,
got that
1.5. Yeah.
attachment onto the clippers with the blades pulled back for a little more length. We are now fading the hairline.
So he doesn't use a
into the hair
comb, does
above.
he, either?
We
No.
need to have a clear
Okay.
vision of where the flow of the clippers is starting and finishing. We work slowly, carefully, running the clippers over the hairline and eloquently lifting the clippers off the head into the guide above.
Yeah.
Imagine you are a snowboarder carving through the snow. Big sea calves, seamless and balanced, digging our clippers into the hairline but bringing them out towards us in a C curve. We must have in our mind's eye where the clippers are going to come off from the head. The last thing we want to do here is to run the clippers too far up the head with no curve, cutting and losing all the graduation we have so carefully and skillfully created. The fading is designed to add to the graduation by sitting the hair shorter at the bottom and going into the longer graduation above. We then take our guard off and really start to fade and sit in our hairline, creating maximum graduation, always making sure the clippers are going in but always coming out in a fluid movement. We are now polishing the shape off, delicately working on little pieces as we go. Imagine you've done a stone sculpture of someone and you were really happy with the shape, but you were just perfecting the nose. You would be gentle, taking fine bits off the stone and just polishing the final shape. Turn the comb upside down for a closer and tighter finish. Change to a number 1 attachment, fading the hairline into the hair above. Take your guard off, really start to fade and polish that shape. Comb the hair back and let the hair fall into a rough centre and find the crown. The crown is that area where the hair is growing out in a circle at the back of the head. Take a horizontal section right the way through the crown with your body directly behind the section and at the back. With your fingernails looking away from you, fingers also horizontal, mirroring the section below and pointing directly to the
This is the
side.
top.
We cut a square line in the middle first, then connect to either side at the top. Adjust the hair above, scissors we go. Imagine you've done a stone sculpture of someone and you were really happy to paint in the final shape. Turn the comb up, you've done a stone sculpture.
So then the attachment comes off once you're happy with that, and then it's just getting that
Can I use a comb?
perimeter.
He uses a comb, doesn't he? Do you use a comb to scissor over comb? No.
No, because he's just literally doing what you've just done, but going round them
Right.
edges, flicking it.
She still doesn't look any better, Georgia.
With the best will in the world, she's not very good, is she?
No. My block went walkabout.
Did it?
Yeah, that one I was using just went walkabout, and somebody gave me this because you just think, God.
I know, and that's the expensive one then, isn't it?
I know. Well, I think what happens is because I couldn't do some of the leaves, you know, when Tony came,
Yeah.
people use it and then they
Yeah.
don't say they've used it, but
Yeah.
it's suddenly not there,
Yeah.
and you think, oh.
Yeah. You actually took it home, was you not allowed to take it home?
Well, no, but I mean, they said in the end you can take them because they had a clean out, but mine wasn't there, so
Oh,
somebody,
bit late.
I went, oh, that's nice, and somebody gave me this one, but
Yeah.
it's not ideal, George.
Yeah. It's darker around the edges, isn't it?
She's not doing me any favours.
She- Yeah.
And then you scissor over combs, I think.
Sculpture of someone and you were really happy with the shape. Final shape. Change to number one attachment. Really start to fade and polish that shape. Comb the hair back and let the hair fall.
Oh, I see.
Find the crown.
Oh,
The crown is that area where the hair is growing out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got to wet that.
Yeah. Finding the crown.
So, does
So
it
No.
round
Circle
crown,
at the back of
you
the
go
head.
straight
right
through
from the
crown.
back? Yeah. Okay. And then he just pulls it.
Take a horizontal section right the way through the crown with your body directly behind the section and at the back.
So
Your
fingernails
fingernail
away
looking
from
away
you.
from you. Fingers also horizontal, mirroring the section below and
keep
pointing
it
directly to the
horizontal all the
sides.
time.
We
Square.
cut a square line in the middle
Yeah.
first, then connect to either side at the top. Adjust the length until we are happy.
Okay.
We then take another horizontal section right in front of our first
So
section.
your fingers need to be virtually not really touching a head.
Touching
Because
her
again,
head.
if this is too long to start with, as you do work forward and then you over direct it,
It'll be
just
too
go
long.
floppy, yeah.
Okay.
With our body directly behind the section at the back. We over-direct slightly to our first section with our fingernails looking away from us. Fingers also horizontal, mirroring the section below and pointing directly to the sides. We cut a square line in the middle first, then we connect to either side at the top. Our third section on top is exactly the same. Horizontal section right in front of our last section, with our body directly behind the section at the back.
So he leaves.
Direct to our
He's done 3.
Yeah. So
The underneath he leaves till last.
last.
So
Yeah.
there's, you take a section
Should-
through the crown as you start
Okay.
with. And then
previous section with our fingernails looking away
so
from
he's
us.
done this
Fingers
is third
also
section.
horizontal, mirroring that section below and pointing directly to the sides. We cut a square line in the middle first, then we connect to either side.
Okay.
We can now start to see the length we are starting to build on top towards the front, and there is absolutely continuity with our method. When you are clippering the sides and back, we highly
that's his
recommend that
four.
you do not wet
Yeah.
the sides or back
And he
area
checks
again
it from the front,
unless
doesn't he?
you really have to.
Yeah, I think
The
it's
hair
after
drying
this
off as
one.
you work through the sides and back will enable you to see the shape building and developing, and this is the only
So
way
it
you will
talks
create
about
an excellent
over-directing.
short
Yeah.
back and sides result.
When he gets further
Keep
to the
checking for
Yeah,
balance
so
as
I
you
was
work,
looking for a
looking
guard
for
like
the
round
square
about,
Yeah.
probably not
shape
far
by
off the top,
cross-checking.
slightly
Now
before the top
standing
of
at
the
the
front.
Yeah,
isn't
isn't it?
it?
There
Yeah.
should only ever be dust coming off when you cross-check. Any more than dust, and you should be going back to your original method for the best quality result. When cutting the top, we would recommend
Still.
keeping the hair wet, so we're able to
So
take
that's the
sections
sixth.
neatly
Yeah.
and work cleanly. Check your balance on either side by now standing at the front of the head with the fingernails now looking at us.
So it
We
will
can
be the
cross-check
top
to
of the
make
ear
sure
next
our
to the
line
one before was
going
just before.
horizontally across the top is square and the same length on both sides of the head. We don't want to see a heel, we want to see a flat top.
Mm.
We are now moving towards the front of the flat top, where we start to over-direct
Just in
now
front
to
of the
create
ear.
length.
Okay. So, my first section,
So his first,
my fingers are touching the scalp.
yeah. Yeah,
So, okay. So he leaves that, doesn't he?
yeah, it just goes through,
Just
straight
goes
through the
that.
crown.
And then he goes straight onto the crown, doesn't he?
Or straight through the crown, yeah.
Straight through.
Yeah,
the
so
crown.
go a bit lower. So go straight through the crown with your section, and then your first one will start, yeah, take a slice out of that. That's it.
So it's quite short.
Yeah,
so it
get your
sits on the
fingers a
crown.
bit closer
Closer
than
to
that
the-
even I would, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And you're holding it 90, so straight up from the head, so don't drag it back.
Up there.
Yeah. Do you want to lower her a bit?
Yeah, I might have
She
to.
might struggle because it's all...
I'm short. Petite.
Yeah.
Have you done the lower one? Want me to do the lower one?
Oh yeah, oh sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
realise you'd
sorry,
done
I've
the
done
other one. So where are we? Just,
That there, yeah.
is that level?
Yeah. Yeah, she's alright there.
Oh, I know, lost. So like back to the previous one, not to the first one, because we still want to keep that length. We're not really retaining that much at the minute. I reckon if you look at this, you're over-directing it too much, because that's not the previous section, and you're going to end up with a lot of length. Just 1 minute, let me just have a look where his fingers are. Look, 'cause they're at more or less from...
Cutting from the
Looking away
root, aren't
your
they?
fingers
And it's
also
from-
horizontal, mirroring the
Look how,
section below.
can you see how
and
it is
pointing
there?
up. Then take
Yeah.
another horizontal section
So
right
it's
in
not-
front of our
can you
first
see
section.
it's
I'm
not-
pulling it
They're
back.
very
You're pulling it
direct
too
pulling it
back,
back.
section at the
Yeah.
back. We direct slightly to our first section with our fingernails looking away from us, fingers also horizontal, mirroring the section below and pointing directly to the sides. We cut a square line in the middle first, then we connect to either side at the top. Our third section on top is exactly the same. Horizontal section right in front of our last section, with our body directly behind the section at the back. We over-direct to our previous section with our fingernails looking away from us. Fingers also horizontal, mirroring that section below and pointing
So
directly
look
to
at
the
the
sides.
position is in now,
We cut a
look.
square line in the middle first, then we connect to either side. We can now start to see the length we are starting to build on top towards the front.
So as he's
And there is
looking up, yeah, he's
absolutely
holding it even
continuity
more up.
with our method.
So it's
When
more
you are
round.
clipping the sides and back, we highly recommend that you do not wet the sides or back down again unless you really have to. The hair drying off as you work through the sides and back will enable you to see the shape building and developing, and this is the only way you will create an excellent short back and sides result. Keep checking for balance as you work, looking for the square flat top shape by cross-checking, now standing at the front. There should only ever be dust coming off when you cross-check. Any more than dust, and you should be going back to your original method for the best quality result. When cutting the top, we would recommend keeping the hair wet, so we are able to take sections neatly and work cleanly. Check your balance on either side by now standing at the front of the head with the fingernails now looking at us. We can cross-check to make sure our line going horizontally across the top is square and the same length on both sides of the head. We don't want to see a heel, we want to see a flat top. We are now moving towards the front of the flat top, where we start to over-direct now to create length in the front. The more you over-direct here, the longer the front will be. The less over-direction, the shorter the front will be. Police staff and education would now like to take this opportunity to make it very clear we are only using electrical clippers on Ampere in this video because we are cutting on a mannequin head which cannot get an electric shock. On a real person, for health and safety reasons, we must either clipper the hair when it's dry or use a pair of cordless clippers that are not attached at the mains. At Least Staff in Education, we recommend starting this recipe with the hair towel dried for ease when clippering at the beginning, with a pair of cordless clippers, and letting the hair around the sides and back dry off naturally as you work. Here we are over directing the hair right back for maximum length around the front to create this contemporary psychobilly Elvis vibe. This over direction at the front will depend though on the finished look you and your clients are going for, so adjust for suitability. Horseshoe shape, take horizontal sections, body directly behind the section at the back. First section pulled straight out, the following sections pulled to the last section. Cutting the middle first, then the outside, cross-check from the front and over-direct the front back. We now take a vertical centre back section just under the crown, with our fingernails still looking away from us, fingers parallel to the section we are taking below, pulling the hair out straight from the head with no over-direction. Next, take a parallel vertical section with our fingernails again looking away from us, fingers parallel to the vertical section below, but now over direct to our previous section. With our body still firmly at the back, we take our third.
Am I over directing now?
We are only.
You're doing, I'd probably do one
more and then over direct.
start to, yeah.
Then we are starting to build on top to back out again. And this is the only way enable you to see the shape building at top shape by cross original method for the best quality result. When cutting the top, we would recommend keeping the hair wet, so we're able to take sections neatly and work cleanly. Check your balance on either side by now standing at the front of the head with the fingernails now looking at us. We can cross-check to make sure our line going horizontally across the top is square and the same length on both sides of the head. We don't want to see a heel, we want to see a flat top. We are now moving towards the front of the flat top, where we start to over-direct now to create length in the front. The more you over-direct here, the longer the front will be. The less over-direction, the shorter the front will be.
So then he over-directs,
Yeah,
doesn't
so
he?
that's his onto this bit now, yeah.
Least Staff in Education would now like to take this opportunity to make it very clear we are only using electrical clippers on Ampere in this video because we are cutting on a mannequin head which cannot get an electric shock. On a real person, for health and safety reasons, we must either clipper the hair when it's dry or use a pair of cordless clippers that are not attached at the mains. At Least Staff in Education, we recommend starting this recipe with the hair towel dried for ease when clippering at the beginning, with a pair of cordless clippers, and letting the hair around the sides and back dry off naturally as you work. Here we are over directing the hair right back for maximum length around the front to create this contemporary Psychobilly Elvis vibe. This over direction at the front will depend though on the finished look you and your clients are going for. So adjust for suitability. Horseshoe shape, take horizontal sections, body direct over the crown with our fingernails.
So now you're going to go straight through to the crown there. So you're working in vertical sections this time, not horizontal.
You're looking away
so
from us.
Back middle.
Fingers parallel to the section we're taking below. Pulling the hair out straight from the head with no over direction.
So this is just
Next,
the
take
first
a
section.
parallel vertical section with our fingernails again looking away from us. Fingers parallel to the vertical section below, but now over direct to our previous section. With our body still firmly at the back, we take our third vertical section. Our elbow is facing to the floor for right-handers, and we now over direct to our previous section, creating a square shape through the back. On the other side, we do exactly the same, but this time, if you're right-handed, you will have to get your elbow right up in the air, pointing towards the ceiling to mirror the vertical section you have just taken below. For left-handers, your elbow will be pointing to the floor on this side, but to the ceiling on the previous side. This elbow position is paramount to guaranteeing your balance and symmetry. Let's have a head check. Take vertical sections, fingernails looking away from you, fingers parallel to the section below, first section straight out from the head, parallel vertical sections, and connect to your crown. A big fat dollop.
Yeah, you're right with that?
Yeah. And then on that side, I'm doing that.
Yeah, so you do. So you like your hitchhiking. So that your thumb should. So you'll come over when you do the right side.
Yeah, that
so
way.
This way. So your fingers are pointing to the floor.
Right.
But your palm's facing you.
That way.
So your palm would be like that. That's it.
That
and
way.
then on that side is like that.
I'm
So
not
yeah,
that way.
yeah. So your thumb's pointing in.
Way
Yeah, palm at you.
Palm at me. That's
Yours. It's coming together now.
She still looks shocking, Georgia.
That's the block though, Di, not you, isn't it? It's...
She's horrendous.
I know.
No offence. I don't need anybody. She's horrendous. having a moment. Not that way. No, on that way.
That's it, yeah,
on
yeah.
that one.
So still sort of staying at the back of
Yeah,
it
that on
and
that
knit back
one.
to your previous section, that's it.
Yep. And didn't he scissor over comb?
I think she's dry.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, at the end. And it goes in with thinning scissors then as well.
After when she's dry?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Are you alright if I nip to the loo?
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you do
yeah.
the
I'm
measure?
just going to
So with your blow...
section it and then blow
Yeah.
dry it bit by
yeah,
bit.
flick the blow dry on because some people tend to like force it. So just watch how he dries it as you're doing
Release that
it.
double blow loose, work into the hair, and we blow dry gently, brushing the hair, going away and up from the base, which will bring out the shape of her underneath cuts. With our flat top blow dry, we position our body towards the front, combing the hair we don't want yet to the front and out of the way. And we start our blow dry on the crown, brushing and blowing the hair back, concentrating on the hair in the middle, then either side, encouraging the hair to fulfill its square, flat top shape. When we get over the high point of the head, we can brush the hair back in the same way, but pull the brush back gently on the roots for a little movement and hold in the finish. The hair at the back under the comb needs to slide on the hair. Without touching the comb, our body is attached to the comb hair in the center of the top. Shape the oscillator in the back very much on the we are also using our fingers to soften our body is always back and move. Always moving from the back to the front. The fingers on the point opening through now to try and take a look on the palm of our hand, remember, if you want to add we massage the product into the body, into the skin, and we apply the copy of evenly massage it into all the hair, in the shape. And then last, we follow the loop, that goes right from the hair, up the hair away from the front. We will move into the loop, just as the right time goes in the hair. And there you have it, the whole always
then thinners, doesn't he?
Yeah. That front, you can pull it forward a bit. That's it. When you do it, like pull it so it like
Angle, so you can see the
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just looks like you've got a big
tuft
yeah.
on the front. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you finish it off at the end.
Yeah. And then he puts putty on it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bit of messed up.
Yeah, messed up.
Okay.
I don't know about that, Georgia.
No, you've done a good job, Di, because the block isn't very nice.
I'll twizzle her.
Yes, please. Mm.